welcome inside our camper. This week it's raining outside, so we decided to stay inside. We drove all the way from Heerland to Zagwag and we've seen a lot this week. So let's start.
After waking up early and having delicious breakfast, we made some beautiful pictures and movies first. And yeah, then we left Etna early and hit the road. And our first stop was at Zandfjorden. We stopped at a viewpoint. It's called Ostastien. And yeah, it was a really beautiful place where we had a great view on the fjord. At this viewpoint on Ostastien we had our lunch break. It was also really hot, I remember. It was around 20 degrees. Yeah, it was a really nice temperature. Then we hit the road again. This viewpoint was also part of the scenic route Rivvilke, and I'm quite glad we chose to follow this route.
Yeah, it was really pretty. We drove next to some amazing fjords and lakes. You have to see it.
It was typical Norwegian landscape. It was beautiful.
A very common thing to do in Norway is to take the ferry from spot A to B, because there are many islands, not always islands, but there's water in between the places, so you have to go to another place fast, and there's not always a bridge, so we see a lot of ferries through here.
And the first ferry we had to take to go to the other side of the water was from Narvik to Jämtland. And Stephanie made some delicious coffee for us while I was making some movies of the ferry trip to Jämtland.
And in my mind, in my head, this is where we all came from. The dreams we had, the love we shared, this is what we're waiting for. And in my mind.
The weather was really lovely that day, so we decided to stay at a campsite. It was called Vatne, and we were quite lucky when we arrived at the campsite, because we could choose where we wanted to park. We could choose between a big grass area with electricity or a non-electricity spot close to the water. So for us, the choice was made quite easy. We choose for the water. Some enjoyed the water, he went for a swim, and we walked around a little bit. Robin had to study, so he was studying in his chair outside in the sun.
In the sun. Very lovely.
That's the life, right?
That's a hard life.
Yeah, we also had to upload some stuff and download some movies, because our data of our phone goes by really fast, so we have to use Wi-Fi at some moments. Yeah, for a client I had to edit some images.
Yeah.
So that day went by very fast. We wanted to make a campfire that evening, but the weather was too bad, so we just waited for another day.
We like to balance between staying in nature and don't having too much, but also enjoying the services that we need sometimes, like internet or Wi-Fi on the campsite.
Yeah, we stayed 2 nights at the campsite. So the next day it was quite bad weather, and we still had to do a lot of stuff for work, study, so we took it easy. And we also had to do our laundry again. This time we didn't do it as before, so no laundry in the lake this week, but just the laundry machine like this one.
Yeah.
And
Luxury.
it still took 8 hours, I guess, because I chose the wrong program and I first put the laundry in the dryer.
Yeah.
But finally, we had clean clothes.
So, and also what we did was having the luxury of a shower, a really hot shower. Well, we have a hot shower here in the camper van, and it works well, really,
Very well.
very well. But you just know that when you go to the shower on a campsite, you can do it for a longer time.
Down, down, down.
When I normally take a shower, I take a shower from 5 to 10 minutes. And I really enjoy the shower. And when I do it in the camper, I have to do it within 30 seconds or something. So I put shampoo in my hair, turn the shower off, turn it on again to get the shampoo out of my hair.
You're rinsing it off,
Yeah.
and then you're cleaning it. Yep.
But that's also because we can only have 100 liters of water in our camper. And when you take a really long shower, you use 100 liters per 5 minutes normally. So you can't do it that long. You just have to shorten it.
I'll be what you want.
Now we're going wild camping!
Now we're going wild camping! Yay! The offline world! Here we go! Whoop, whoop.
It was only 10 to 15 minutes to a spot in the middle of nature, close to a lake. There was a little forest.
Really quiet place. Yeah.
And when we arrived, we saw those nice hiking trails and decided to go for a run with Sam. And Sam definitely has the best condition of the three of us. So Sam was running
Definitely.
like crazy.
Baby, now and then I think about me now and who I could have been. And then I picture all the perfect downlift till I cut the strings on your tiny violin. Oh, my mind's got it on my mind if it's on right now and it makes me hate me. I'll explode like a dynamite if I can't decide. Baby.
And we really enjoy making food on fire, on the barbecue. So this place was the perfect spot to do it.
Robin took a little hike to get some wood for the fire.
To get it
And-
going again, right?
He came back with, I think it was wood, with a length of
Yeah,
3 meters or
2.5 meters or so.
3 meters. And he was just walking over the water and
Then we had to chop it in little pieces.
almost falling in the water.
No, not falling in the water.
Did
But then
it?
I chopped it in little pieces to throw it on the fire.
Afterwards, Robin also had to study. He had to follow his class online and decided to do it next to the campfire. So he
I
was
was-
sitting there.
I was listening to the teacher while I was enjoying the fire as well. Yeah, it was really good.
But then at one point it started raining too hard, so we had to run inside with the laptop and
Yeah.
we continued inside. The next morning we wanted to hike to Pijkenstolen, so our alarm went at 7 in the morning and we were looking at each other and we heard the rain and we saw the bad weather forecast, so we both said, no, let's not do this. This is too dangerous. The road must be really slippery right now. And we're traveling with our dog, so
It was not a good idea.
no, it's not safe. And we've done the Pijkenstolen before. It was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we really loved the views back then, so we said, let's move on. Let's continue the trip. So our next stop was filling up the gas bottle again. We drove to a place near to Stavanger. And it was a campsite store. So we asked them to fill it up, but they said, sorry, we can't help you because not every store can fill up German gas in Norway. So there are a few points where you can, but not today, you're too late. And tomorrow the nearest store is also closed, so you have to wait. And yeah, that was a little bummer, so we were almost without gas. But on the good side, the camp store also said you can stay here for a night and you can put your camper on electricity. So then our fridge works on electricity instead of gas, and that was really nice. They also helped us removing a sticker from the front of our camper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a sticker used for transport.
So we decided to camp at the parking lot of the camper store that night. And we just used the Wi-Fi again, went relaxing a little bit, watching movies. I started to try to find some collaborations for photography in Norway again. So I took some time trying to connect with companies and also modeling agencies. So if you're also looking for a photographer and videographer, we can make some cool content for you as well. Just let us know in comments or email to
Closer than I've ever been.
Yeah, so the next morning there was a little event or something at the parking lot.
They were celebrating the day off.
Yeah. So yeah, they were all together and we were still sitting in our camper working a bit.
Look at this place. Beautiful.
This week's challenge: pick the most ugly place to sleep. We also found a plant store.
The plant store is called Plantasjen.
Plantasjen.
Something like this.
Your Norwegian is getting really good.
Yeah, they're really common in Norway. Plantasjen. So we decided to go further on the road, stopped at a place near Algard, and it was a free spot near a fjord.
So that evening we were sitting on a rock on the hill, it wasn't really a mountain, and we were just enjoying the sunset. It was so pretty. The colors on the lake and
Yeah,
I also met some sheeps. It was fun.
yeah, it was really fun. That night it rained very hard, so we woke up a few times. But that didn't spoil the fun because the area was so beautiful. And the next morning we had a little hike to the highest point above the fjord. And Sam was in his element. He was really having fun. He enjoyed himself.
It was getting crazy. At one point he even looked like a pig.
Yeah,
He really was.
and a pig having a mud bed. So that was really funny as well.
And again, Sam was doing 10 times the distance we did.
Yeah.
So he's so energetic.
And after having lunch, we packed our things and we drove to a place where they sell German gas, because German gas is really hard to find in Norway.
The holiday was over, so they were open again.
The store was open and they fill up our 5 kilo gas bottle, but we also wanted to extend the capacity of gas in the camper van. So we asked the seller if he had like a bigger bottle.
Extra bottle.
An extra bottle would be fit, and luckily he had a bottle of 11 kilos.
11, yes.
Yeah, 11 kilos. So now we can, well, approximately
To 1 month with one
Yeah.
bottle.
we have 30 days, 1 month. Then we hit the road again and we went to Stavanger. We parked the camper van at a really quiet parking lot in the central area of Stavanger. And then we had to walk, 5 minutes to the Clarion Hotel in Stavanger. We checked in and we had to upgrade our room because we had to bring some as well. Yeah, we had to upgrade it to a superior bed.
We had to upgrade from room with carpets to a room without carpets.
Without carpets.
That was the difference.
That was the difference,
Yeah.
and and we enjoyed our stay at the Clarion Hotel.
But we mostly enjoyed the city.
We enjoyed the city because we decided the first day to go out.
Yeah.
To have a great night and go on the dance floor.
We first had dinner at an Italian restaurant, and then we ended up in an Irish pub or something.
So we're about to go sightseeing in Stavanger. And on a very special way, because we're not going to walk. That's so 2021. Well, we go by an electric step. It's very popular here.
Everyone does it, so we can do it as well. So later in the afternoon, when we stopped our city trip, we were so sleepy, so we cancelled our restaurant appointment and just stayed in our hotel room watching movies, and it was really nice to recharge a bit. So the next day we had to continue our journey again. We checked out at the hotel, looked if our camper was still at the parking lot, and it was, lucky us. And then we drove to halfway Bergen.
So we're going to continue our adventures in Bergen and also the famous fjord of Norway, the Geiranger Fjord. And we have much more favorite places that we would like to explore this week. We hope you like this video. We really appreciate that you have the time to follow us on our journey, on our adventure, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and we'll see you next week. Bye!
Bye!